Welcome to Real Money Talks, how to make money, manage money, and invest money. Your Real Money Talks host, Laurel Langmeyer, gets straight to the point about what it actually takes to make money and build lasting wealth in today's changing economic climate. If you're ready to get the financial results you've always dreamed of, keep listening. Real Money Talks is the right place for you. And now here's your host, Laurel Langmeyer.
Hi, this is Laurel, and you are with Laurel's Real Money Talks. This is an exciting podcast, and as you are enjoying it, I want you to pass it on to your friends. And I'm not going to say this one's, for the women only, but a lot of women love this one. A few years ago, I wrote the Get in the Game book with Kevin Harrington, ex-Shark on Shark Tank. He's king of infomercials, brilliant how to make a perfect pitch. And I'm going to be bringing him to a live, longer audio podcast once he and I are physically together in one room. But he and I, several years ago, wrote Get in the Game. And it was just occurred to me, many of you want to get further into the game that you're playing. And one of the chapters I wrote is say yes and figure out how. 4 steps to being a game changer. And, the other new word that's really in the industry is being a disruptor, disrupting industries. And I know that I love disrupting industries in many, many ways. Because some of this old industry stuff that people do, it's like 1960s Ward and June Cleaver. Some of it financially is from 1933 when the, initial industrial age and financial and educational systems got set up. And I don't know about you folks, but it's 2017. We're in a new administration. We're with the first president and wealth builder since Roosevelt. I think it's an exciting time. So I wanted to bring you this podcast about being a game changer, because we need a lot of game changers. We need disruptors. We need people who are willing to take a stand for what they believe in and get something done in the world. Because if you haven't figured it out or saw lately, it's not just America that's got a lot of interesting, rock and roll financial stuff going on. We're $20 trillion in debt. The world is in extraordinary debt, and we need some disruptive technology. Technology, in my vernacular today, is really about your intellectual property. Like, what is it that you're doing, and what is it that you're holding? See, the thing I find about a lot of people, because I teach so much and I'm out in the world so much, I'm not just behind, sitting in a green room all day, is so many people are so patterned. They're so in their life, and one day I'll get to it, and one day I get to it. And like Les Brown says, those dreams are going to die in the cemetery. And unless you get to it and decide that you want to give, serve, and that means sell and be in the world, you're just comfortably walking through your life. I want you to be a game changer. I want you to be a disruptor. I want you to find a team and a community. We provide that vehicle here at Live Out Loud for you to bring your magic, bring your brilliance, whether it's in the area of making money, keeping money, investing money, or doing it with the team. It is time for you to come alive. So I wrote 4 things. So I just want you to grab a pen and paper, take some notes, and let's have this conversation. The 4 steps to becoming a game changer. Number 1, get in the game. Number 2, stay in the game. Number 3, which is my favorite, create the game. And number 4, assume you always will lead the game. So let's take a deeper cut into each of these. So when you get in the game, getting in the game means stepping in and really controlling your life, your industry, the sector that you're in. So get in the game does not mean stay in the bleacher seats. I'm going to use real estate and insurance folks as an example, because their industries are really, really dogmatic, structured. I keep saying the word old-fashioned. I'm looking for a new word. Just outdated. With all of the modern technologies and online technologies, insurance folks still want to go have dinners, have home appointments. In some areas of the world that might work, but why not do online lead magnets and lead generators and have webinars, have ongoing YouTube channels, learning about new products. I mean, the volume game is available to you right now. So you look at real estate agents, traditional, tuck under a broker, put your name on the side of a grocery cart and hope to God the whole thing works out. I mean, come on, folks. Another one that's just stunning to me still is network marketing. And I own some and I'm in them. And there's a way to do them that's very, very up to date and very, very profitable. And then there's still those that go get two, and those two people will go get two, and those two people will go get two, and you can't have a front-facing website. You have to use ours or we'll kick you out. First of all that's false. And I want you to get in the game from a new disruptive standpoint. So first of all, in network marketing, a disruptor is somebody who says, I'm going to carry and endorse your product line, but guess what? I'm going to have my own website. I'm going to be my own expert. I'll give you a great example of a woman in Canada who I absolutely love. She was a Mary Kay expert and was just doing Mary Kay parties, traditional, industry standard stuff. And I said, so be one of these disruptors. So first of all, get 3 other lines in your business. Carry clothing, carry accessories, carry jewelry, and then don't be a Mary Kay distributor. You're now an image consultant. You just happen to use the products of other people. So the disruption in that is reposturing yourself to be in command and control of your market, into your database. They come to you front facing, and you decide whose products and services you decide, that you want to use. So many people, anyway, by the way, she's making hundreds of thousands of dollars doing that. Where, before it's struggle, struggle, struggle. I hope my 2 friends will have my 2 parties and 2 pieces of lipstick are going to be sold. So I know those are simple examples for some of you that are playing a way, way, way bigger game. But for many people who aren't even at 6 figures, a lot of the what I call disruptive game changer, get in the game moves that I teach in my workshops and that I teach you about, they're available in every market. I mean, pre-selling is a game-changing idea and to many people. And the truth is, I think it's been around forever. It's how I've always made money. I pre-sell something, then I design it. Take deposits for stuff. So many of you're fulfilling things and hoping you get paid versus you get paid, prepays and deposits, then you fulfill a product or service. So game changing means getting to the playing field, not sitting in the bleacher seats saying, oh, I'm in this industry or I'm in this industry or this is what I do. Be in the industry. Be at the association meetings, be at the member meetings, be down on the ground and be part of the catalyst that makes your industry, your product, your service move, and be a huge part of changing the game. Not just getting in it so you can make a few bucks, but being very, very critical to it. The key component of getting the game is sequencing. And sequencing means do the right thing at the right time. And one of the key sequences about getting the game, I believe, is seeing the money. So many people start things with interesting behavior all day. Also, just action all day. And I always ask them when I'm doing strategy meetings or coaching sessions with them is how is that behavior, that activity during the day, although it's spending an enormous amount of your time and energy, how is it getting you to cash in your bank account? If you can't see the line to the cash, a line to the service, you're doing the wrong activity. And I can promise you after nearly 20 years of really coaching and strategizing with people to get in the game, there's a lot of busy work and not productive work. So the next one is to stay in the game. So number 2 is how do you be a game changer? You got to stay in the game for a while. So many people, what I call game change hop, right? They're one thing one day, they're one thing the next day. Oh man, I could name people on my hand where the first thing you want to ask them, because you don't know what they're doing because they hop. They're like one day they're network marketing. Now I'm doing this network marketing. Now I'm doing this thing. Then I'm doing this thing. Then I'm doing this thing. So when somebody asks you, what are you doing? What are you working on these days? That implies to me that you're not a game changer. You're a idea hopper. You are looking for a lottery ticket. Well, that one thing didn't work, so now I'll try this one thing. And then maybe if that one thing doesn't work, I'll try another thing. You got to get in the game. You got to stay in the game. And here's how I love to coach people to stay in the game. I mean, the formula to stay in the game is you're going to take massive action with a strategist, a coach who knows how to sequence you properly. You want to analyze your results on a regular basis and then start shifting. Because just because you decided to get in the game does not mean that you're going to stay in the game. you've got to stay in the game, which means you're going to have to run. I always use Bill Gates' terms. You're going to run into a few walls. Deciding that you're going to move doesn't mean that you need this whole how-to plan laid out. You're going to take some roads and they're not going to work out, and you're going to come back and you're going to take another road, and then you're going to take another one. And when it comes back to you, great advice of someone that I've worked with recently, when those ideas come back to you frequently, it means you need to change and you need to shift. So identifying what's working with your business, what needs to be adjusted with your business, and doing it very, very quickly. Implement key learnings, stay sustainable. Again, analyze the results is critical. And know that your first path may not work out perfectly, but you got to stay in. So some of the more real permanency that I create for people to stay in the game is get incorporated. Get incorporated, number one, sets you up with a financial foundation that the money you make is going into the right place. Wealthy people do not put money that they've earned into their personal bank account. It goes into a business, a corporate bank account, an LLC, a limited partnership, an S Corp, a C Corp in the United States, a limited company in Canada, limited proprietary in Australia. I have companies in various places around the world, and it starts with a bank account. It starts with the corporate structure, starts with a bank account, your ability to interact and transact with merchant services in different parts of the world. And it's absolutely critical. So you're going to be more incented to stay in the game because you've set something up. Now, if you want to go another step further, which is really, I'd say, simultaneous action, is get a website set up, get a database, like commit your right structure, financial foundation, technical structure, then get out there and get to work. Get to work by, doing all the right actions that we would teach you. Number one, go make money, get pre-sales, deposits, put the money in the bank, organize the backside fulfillment. But we got to get this in the right order. And staying in the game means having determination, having some tenacity. Now, create a new game. Once you're in, you could officially say, I'm in the seminar, education, coaching industry. You could also look at Live Out Loud and the companies that I've created around it and say, she educates investors. She's a equity crowdfunder. She does entities, corporate structure, and Nevada presence where you can use her conference center. I own a co-work space where you can come to Tahoe, come ski, and in the morning or the evening, if you need to go to work, come to work in my conference center. I mean, I've got a very different business model, and depending how you look at it, depends how you see that I've stayed in the game. I've adjusted, I've had added products, I've created different products, but I'm creating a new game by blending different, I'm going to say, technologies or systems into one. That to me is ultimate and multiple streams of income. So too many of you're staying in the game, but only with one stream. I want you to create new games around what you're doing. So real estate agents, what a novel concept. Become a real estate investor. Own the property management companies that you're referring your clients to. Own an entity company. Own part of a mortgage bank. I'm just launching a mortgage bank. Banks a lot of times also will offer you corporate and or individual credit cleanup. When I was in real estate, I wasn't a realtor. I did not get a license or become an agent. I went straight to the streets and I bought real estate. But most of my primary partners were agents who were just referring business. And I had a constant conversation. Why aren't you in the game? Why aren't you creating a new game? Why aren't you changing the way realtors just buy and sell houses? I mean, that's a great revenue model, but it's not the wealthy revenue model. Wealthy is getting deep in the game. One of my podcasts, if you want to go find it, is around his name's Jesse Brewer, and he and I did a great piece on the interest rates and the millennials. And I can tell you, he's a huge get in the game, stay in the game, create the game, and lead the game guy. I've watched him do very interesting segments, fall down, get rid of partners, and transition to now just being an absolute master of owning his kingdom. I mean, from being the broker, from being in the banks, from being the actual management companies, for being the roofing company, for being, I went further out too. I was a landscaping company. I had a cleaning company. Somebody's got to clean all these houses you renovate. So when I say create a new game, create a new model of what your offering is. I'll go a different way. Web designers and technical designers do everything for your client. Even some of the highest level web and tech designers that I see, they still don't refer and or have really brilliant, say, videographers that come side by side that create great video, and whether it's just for your website or also for your YouTube channels. Put a Put somebody like I have on my team. Put an expert podcaster on your team. Put a photographer on your team. And most of the time they will have copywriters, but they're not super internal. And then now, welcome to the age we're in of building funnels and Facebook ads and LinkedIn ads and meetup groups and every other Pinterest to Snapchat to Instagram. I mean, there's an integration of technology that is profound out there, and I want you to get in the game. I want you to stay in the game. And I want you to create a new game by your offering. That's the fastest way I know how to teach you how to create a new game, is to modify what it is you're doing. Like, I'm one of the first people, 5-time New York Times, as you know, this whole podcast is coming out of a Get in the Game book. And I'm going to give you my chapter for a free download. And where you go get that is you go to asklaurel.com/podcast gifts and grab the chapter that I'm speaking about in the Game Changer book and download it. So you're going to give me your name, phone number, and email, and you go to the gifts area of my page and grab my free ebook. Grab my free chapter. And if you'd like to buy the book, you can, click through to my store and grab my Get in the Game book as well. My point is that I want you so deep in the distinction of what you do that's different. So for me, being an author, being, a very highly acclaimed speaker, traveled all over the world doing this, you'd say I look similar to other companies. The truth is that I'm a massive investor. I'm an equity crowdfunder. And I do a lot of international. Those are probably my 3 big create new game distinctions that most people don't do and or know about. Now, lead the game. Lead the game is absolutely essential. So when you lead, there's an essential control of the industry. So way back in the day, when the International Coach Federation finally started, the ICF, I was one of the first people on a board. I was one of the first people through master coaching certifications and making up what that ever was. Quickly changed the game. Odd financial models. Coaching institutes give odd, really, really poor financial models. So I modified the financial model, shifted it very, very quickly, became very distinctively a financial expert, and I use coaching to facilitate the expertise. So I don't claim myself to be a coach. I use coaching as a process. So I led the game in a very different direction, and I took it to millions of dollars within 18 months of understanding that that's one of the games I was in. So again, I think all of you have an opportunity to get in the game, not only stay in the game. And the reason I say stay in the game is a lot of you drop out way too soon. And once you're in year, 2 years, start creating a very distinctive model, which is creating the game. And then by year 3 to 4, lead the game. Take the helm, take the top of the heap, and just own it. The money is in owning a bigger game, not trying to get through some smaller game. So all of you can do it. You've been listening to Laurel. This is Laurel's Real Money Talks, and I look forward to talking to you on my next podcast. And if you've enjoyed this, again, pass these podcasts on. I want hundreds of thousands of people downloading my podcast, getting into our academies, getting into our communities, and just leveraging the life that you absolutely deserve. So I'll be back in touch with you on Laurel's Real Money Talks very soon. Anytime you want to ask a question, go to asklaurel.com and let's start talking.
Thank you for joining Laurel for this segment of Real Money Talks, how to make money, manage money, and invest money. To continue this new conversation and to find free resources to support your wealth creation, visit asklaurel.com/podcast gifts. That's ASKLORAL.com/podcast gifts. Thanks for listening and join us again soon. New episodes are released every week.